just me and you, baby. Hey, buds, how we doing? Welcome to Gommies Workshop. So exclusive weekender. This one's for the ladies. Anyway, there speaks a voice of experience. Anyway, what have I got for you today? A couple of little bits and bobs. Okay, so you remember the cans we were doing? Remember the cans? In fact, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to change camera angle so I can show you all this lot a little bit way closer. So, by a little bit of magic. Let's move on. Had a gun in today. In fact, I had a big collection of stuff in today. Teams getting ready for their, the rest of the start of the season coming on. So they drop their guns in because they want their guns to work. When they walk out onto that field and pull that trigger for that first shot, that gun has to work, right? If you're not getting your gun serviced, then what are you even doing there, man? Yeah. Anyway, got to show you this one. He bought a cheap gun, second-hand one, probably off the internet, etc., etc. And it had a really bad time. Now, all I want to show you on this is obviously a LUXE reg. Now, in the side of the LUXE reg, you have two little screws, right? Now, on this one, they're obviously removed. So, unscrew, unscrew, unscrew. This lets you unscrew this bottom bit. Okay, but what you need to know is, see this big silvery bit? That's where all the damage was, okay? There's a hole there, and there's a hole on the other side. Now, these two holes, they line up with where the two screws go, okay? And you have to get this alignment here has to be bang on, okay? Not just right, it has to be exact. Now, if you don't line these screws up exactly, what happens is it's a screw with a pin on the end, okay? Because it's a locating pin. Any good engineer or motor mechanic will know what dowel or locating pins are when they're doing the cylinder head on their car. They are for holding something in a exact position. That is why they are on your reg. And if you do them up without the alignment being correct, you will damage this internal part of the regulator. Now, damage on this part, it's not too much of a problem. The only thing is, when you damage this, it's inside the reg. And what you will do is you will create two metal spurs, one on each side, which are almost like cutting edges, because you've just had to push this metal to one side to get the pin to go in place. And the next time you unscrew this, as you unscrew this, those two metal burrs will damage the inside surface of the regulator, thus making this regulator useless. It won't seal anymore. You've cocked it up because you can't align two screws. If you don't know what you're doing and you're not sure, on the phone, man, it's free. That's all you got to do is you pick up the phone, take your hand, pick up the phone like this, Val Doonican, and tap the numbers out with this one. You go, go ahead, take my reg apart. How do I deal with those screws again? That's how easy it is. Get rid of this whole macho bullshit attitude, yeah? And just ring up and ask. Right, okay, so that's that out of the way. I can't really throw that around, but it's fucked anyway. Next one is I had a chap ring up today. I said he was shooting his gun, it had been final day. And when he come to shoot it, it wouldn't stop shooting, it was going full auto. And I was saying, look, take your gun, gas it up, and whack it like this. So, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And every time he whacked it, it was shot. It's because your trigger adjustment is really poor, okay? Your trigger, it's got a little magnet in it. That magnet has really to be in line with the screw that's for the trigger travel adjustment inside the frame. Because the magnet needs to sit on top of that screw. If you've got that perfectly lined up, then this trigger has a bit of resistance to it. It won't shoot if you move the gun. Basically what's happening with a gun that runs away is as the gun recoils, the trigger doesn't. The trigger's staying where it is. You know Scooby-Doo, when they're, and their legs go, and their body shoots off and the legs are still there. That's what's happening with this gun, okay? Now you can go into electronic debounce, but we don't use that. Just adjust your trigger. You've got no reason to have a hair trigger on a paintball gun. In fact, it's incredibly dangerous, and I've seen people come off on the wrong end of it off their own gun into their own nuptials. Yeah, Terry Nutkins. Oh, I like Terry Nutkins. Actually. What a cool name. So, you remember the silver cans, standard silver cans, okay? And then, well, I went to porting them and creating the anti-chuff chamber and anti-chuff chamber. So now I have a 2-spur one. You've seen these anyway, though. This is nothing new. 2-spur one. This one is actually slotted. Okay, so this has got huge ports in it, monster ports. Well, I've always liked the older style black cans. Now here's a black can that I've machined. Only thing with these black cans is they are a devil to get the O-rings in and out of on the inside. Now, but for some reason, I just find that these black cans are made better. Better tolerances, better machine, maybe better quality control, because these are really, really early cans. So maybe the company that was making them was out to prove something, and they are made exceptionally well. And they are incredibly thin. They have incredibly thin walls on them. Thinner the metal, the less metal, the more air we can put in there, okay? And air's good, we like air. So, what I did, I was just giving that out, I think I might have just shown you that one. What I did, obviously, to make the O-rings, make it more simple to put the O-rings in, so all I've done, you know, I've just machined out a little slot on that side, and I thought, yeah, no, that's quite nice, blah, 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 blah. I took that a little further, and we made these big ones now. They are big. In fact, actually, that's got a big hole on one side and a little one on the other side. You know, because I don't like to do every single thing the same. People say to me, why does that not look like it's off a production? So, because it's not off a production, every single item in here is handmade. Which is why you can't buy 2 Purdy shotguns that are exactly the same. Same for Holland and Holland, right? This is one I have double channelled out though, almost the same. This is my chaotic chamber. This is actually off my gun. This gives the air a number of different paths to follow, because as we know, air will always take the path of least resistance, okay? But look at the number of ports there and how big they are. Also, the number of ports right down on the bottom there. Hundreds of them. They're all big and standard. These things work well. I've got a few out on test at the moment. Funny enough, in the States as well, which really surprises me, because these are not anodised a pretty colour. And normally I find with a lot of players, I don't want to say players in the States, it's a real bitch, that if it's not a pretty colour, then it can't perfectly work, right? Yeah. Anyway. Some new toys for you there. These are going to be good. Get in contact if you want to give one a try. I'll probably bring a couple to a show. Price wise, same price as a brand new can, plus a tenner, 40, 50 quid, something like that, isn't it? Also, obviously, if you haven't got the bulk guide, you need it, and you also need the piston. There's no point in just fitting one of these parts, all three together or nothing. If you want the result, put the work in. Get your money out, come and buy the product, because it works, yeah, right, anyway. So, with that aside, and we're getting on a bit, it's nearly home time. So, we've covered the runaway triggers, you've seen the new cans, and we've gone over the little screws inside of the LUXE regulator. Do not cock these up, because I will sneer at you and call you a knob end and ask you why you're working on your gun if you don't know what you're doing. And more importantly, why don't you just ring? And I would have educated you over the phone. You know, that's what it's all about. Education for the masses. Oh, Margaret Thatcher. Anyway, till next time. I'll see you later, lads. Look after yourself. It's cold. It's wet. It's freezy. It's slidey. If you ride a motorcycle, keep your eyes open. Fight the good fight. And Semper Fi, motherfucker. That's for one of my customers over there in Hawaii. Believe it or not, United States Marine Corps. We've all been there. Well, not with the Marine Corps, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll see you soon, buds. Ta-da. Bye-bye. Oh, earthquake.